Hey everyone, Chef Leroy, and I'm in my kitchen. Hope you guys are having a great day. I am definitely having a great day. I wanted to just do a little follow-up on my video I just posted recently on my slow-cooked chicken, okay? Well, out of that slow-cooked chicken, using 1 quart of processed chicken stock, I actually got 2 full quarts of chicken stock out of it. It's beautiful too. So here's one of my quarts here. It's nice and thick, and that's what you want, nice congealed stock. That's when you know it's really fortified and very tasty. Now, I did get a bunch of sediment, okay? So this is the bowl right here, and there's a lot of sediment in there. I'm not gonna use the rest of this because it's gonna make the soup look a little gnarly in a sense, so I don't wanna use that in there. But I basically got another whole quart of liquid from that chicken, okay? We're gonna do a chicken rice soup, okay? I've got some ingredients here that I'll show you. First of all, this is some of the pulled chicken that I got. I'm gonna use 1.5 pounds of chicken. And I'll tell you another little part of this. So when you're making a soup, usually the general rule is 1 pound of meat, 1 pound of vegetables for 1 gallon of soup, okay? Well, I've got a 7-quart pot. And, you know, I can get about 6.5 quarts in there pretty comfortably. So we're going to see how this whole thing goes together. Again, I've got carrots and celery. This is 2 cups of celery, 2 cups of carrots. This container here, I got 3 cups of yellow onion diced. I've got a half teaspoon of dry thyme, 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, okay? So I'm basically going to make about 1.5 gallons of soup roughly, a little bit more than that. And then you're going to need rice, okay? So this is basmati rice. I got 2 cups of basmati rice. And then the last ingredient I'll really add to it is some black pepper. And I've got about a half a teaspoon I'll use of black pepper. All right, so let's get the camera over to the stove. I got my pot already preheating with 1 tablespoon of oil. So let's get after it. All right, let's go ahead and add our carrots and celery. Go ahead and add our diced onions. That's got the thyme and the minced garlic in it as well. I like thyme a lot in these kind of soups. It's just very aromatic in its flavor. Okay, so let's let that saute. We're going to saute this until the onions become clear. All right, let's let it cook. She's looking pretty good here. Just let it cook just a little bit longer, but you can see the onions are starting to turn clear, or translucent, as some people would say. That's where we basically need that vegetable. Okay, let's go ahead and add our stock. 2 quart. Let's give that a stir. So these are 32-ounce or 1 quart containers of chicken stock. Go ahead and add another one. So this is going to be 3 quarts of stock. And I think that's what I'm going to stay with right there, okay? Because we're going to add the rice yet to it. We're going to add that chicken to it. And then I may use an ice method at the end that helps it cool down quicker in your refrigerator. And I usually like that method. It just gets your soup down to a colder temperature faster, which is, you know, get it down into that safe zone, down to 40 degrees. So that's probably what I'll do. One thing I like about winter here is that I can throw this out on my patio and let it cool down outside without putting it in my refrigerator, so don't stress the fridge out too much. All right, let's just let it cook. So basically at this point, we're gonna bring it up to a boil. We're gonna let the vegetables cook until they just about start getting nice and tender. We're gonna go ahead and add that rice, get the rice finished up, add the chicken, and boom. Oh, and we'll have to add that black pepper too. And the soup is done. All right, let's let her cook, guys. Okay, I'm back to my pot, and it's up to a good boil here. Took about just a little under 10 minutes to get there. I'm gonna kick it down to a medium temperature, bring it down to about a simmer, because I don't want this to evaporate too much. I want the vegetables to cook, but I don't want the liquid to evaporate too much. So this pot is kind of a heavier stainless steel pot. It does take a little bit more for it to cool down, but you could see from that rolling boil, it just dropped pretty quick on this induction stove. Sorry, it's a little noisy. I had to turn my fan on. That's actually on the lowest setting. But I didn't want to steam up my microwave up on the top here too much. All right, we're just gonna let it simmer until those carrots and celery become tender. We'll go ahead and add that rice, and we're pretty close to being done with it. I will say this, there's a quicker way to do this. Obviously, I went through this whole process of doing stock and everything, but you could just use a pre-made stock, or you could use a base as well with water. So there's other alternatives you can use if you don't want to do that other method that takes longer to make the product. But the way I did it is a lot cheaper, okay? Because you're now using chicken that's a whole chicken, and they're cheaper than buying like chicken breast or chicken thighs, or buying a single whole chicken at the store is almost the same price as the Costco's 2 chickens that they sell. The other thing you could do is Costco sells those nice roast chickens. I've used those before. You can pull that meat off and make soup with that too, or other items that you want to use pulled chicken for. Another really great thing. All right, let's just let this cook. We'll get back to you in a few minutes here. Okay, I'm back at my pot here. It's been simmering for about 10 minutes. And as you see, the onions that were basically floating on top kind of sunk a bit. That's means everything's getting closer to being done. Let's try a piece of celery. Oh, still just a little crunchy. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it simmer for another 5 minutes. All right, I'm back in my pot here. It's been about 5 minutes, and I'll go ahead and check a piece of celery. Usually celery is the one that's a little bit more of the crunchier one. Oh, no, it's good. I'd say that's right on the money. So let's go ahead and add the rice. Again, this is 2 cups of basmati rice. Stir in there. And I'm not going to bring it up to a boil or anything else. I'm just going to leave it where it is on about a medium heat. Let's let it simmer nicely in there. Go, look at that, huh? All right. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on the time, but I would say that rice should be getting pretty tender in about 10 minutes here. So I'll let you know when that 10 minutes is up. All right, let's let her cook. All right, I'm back at the pot here, and everything is looking fantastic. Look at that rice. That's why I like basmati. Look at how beautiful it is. All right, we're gonna go ahead and turn the pot off. Let's go ahead and add that chicken to it. Gonna stir in there. So the chicken's cold, right? So that helps cool it down a little bit. Now I have not added black pepper to it yet, so I want to do that next. I'm going to use my mill here. That's my crank mill. I said about a half teaspoon. All right, now let's mix that in. That looks so good. Now you can see it's pretty low still. There's not a lot of liquid in there. It's pretty thick. Before I do anything, I want to taste it, okay? Because I will probably add ice to this as a method. That's good. That is really good. Okay, here we go. All right, just not a lot of liquid, but it'll really help cool it down good. And if it seems like it's a little diluted and it doesn't have the same chicken flavor, well then that's where you want to add either a little bit of salt, or you want to add a little bit more of that chicken stock that you have. Let's grab a thermometer. I want to show you something here quick. It was at a simmer, which simmers are usually 180 degrees, right? So let's see where we're at now. You can see the temp. It's already down to almost 100 and what's about 144. So it went from that, literally dropped about 20 degrees just by adding that ice to it. Now I do have another container of this chicken stock. I'm going to go ahead and add some more chicken stock to it. So this is the product I have. It's Kirkland organic chicken stock. There's so much flavor from that cooked chicken. I mean, it just gives it such a different depth. But again, like I said, you can add other chicken to it. It doesn't have to be your, cooking, processing chicken at home like that. All right, that's another quart. Again, let's give that a stir. Done. Okay, let's give it another taste. Oh, that is really good. And I think the salt level's fine. I mean, if you like saltier soups, you can add more salt, but I personally think it's really good. Now that chicken stock that I just put in here was at room temperature. Let's go ahead and see what the temp is now in the soup. So we basically dropped our soup another 10 degrees by adding that. Okay. Now what I suggest you do is go ahead and just leave this out on the counter for a little while to let it cool down. All right, that's it. That's what I got. But I think that the soup that you're going to get out of this, you're going to really like it. Again, it's a very universal recipe. You can use this formula for other recipes with beef, turkey, ham, whatever other meats you like to use, or no meat. You know, just follow that simple rule of 1 pound of meat and 1 pound of vegetables per gallon, and that'll really get you to where you need to be. Okay. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, and also please subscribe if you haven't subscribed up to this point. It would be really appreciated, and it also lets you know when a video has been put out by me. And otherwise, you guys have a fantastic day. Chef Leroy, and out. And thanks for watching My Cozy Kitchen.